Welcome to lesson 2. Now, this lesson we'll be looking at single notes and how to isolate them on the harmonica. Now, what initially may seem like a simple task, isolating single notes can actually be quite tricky. For many of my own students, it took them at least a few weeks, if not the better part of a month, to get their single notes sounding right. And this is because you're relying on embouchure, which essentially just means having enough strength in your lip muscle in order to pucker and create a narrow jet of air that can single out each note without spilling into the adjacent holes. Again, this goes back to lesson 1 where I explained that you need enough lip over the harmonica to ensure a nice tight seal over each hole. Now, if you watch me for a second, you can see I sort of puff my lips up and slightly narrow the shape of my pucker. Unfortunately, this has to be learned through trial and error, and you'll need to let your ear navigate. So, really puff your lips up into it, enough lip over the harmonica. So, firstly, just go around at random points and try and get those single notes on both the draw and the blow. The more consistently you hit those random notes, the more you're improving. Simple as that. Alternatively, you can try and just hit one single note and then slide upwards or downwards from that point. Sometimes starting on hole 1 can be easier because there's no other hole to the left of it. Now, once you start to hit the single notes more consistently, a good exercise is to just go between 2 notes. Once you get this happening a bit more consistently, you can start doing what they call a trill. Again, this is where having that hand contact's important because you have to quite rapidly move it back and forth. A little bit of head movement too doesn't hurt. Just have a play around with it for a while. Just sit there, random points, sliding up and down, going between holes. You'll get it at some point. Just bear in mind the shape of your mouth makes all the difference. So, main takeaway from this lesson, use plenty of lip, narrow your pucker, practice random and sequential notes, and try and practice that 2-note trill. And of course, make sure you practice these exercises on both the draw and the blow. It may sometimes be easier to hit the single notes on the blow, but later you'll see much of the dynamics and more common riffs are mostly comprised of draw notes. Just take it slow. If you feel like you're having trouble, just be aware of how your mouth feels, the shape of your lips, and just make small adjustments, and eventually you will be able to hit it. So, good luck with practice, and I'll see you in the next one.